The first time someone told me that I didn't believe in God was in second grade. I didn't know it at the time, but they were right. With eyes as large and round as matzo balls and arms that weren't quite strong enough to hold up the history book that is anti-Semitism, I listened to this girl rattle off in confused adolescent certainty that her dad told her Jews don't believe in God. I told her her dad must have been mistaken. It felt wrong to correct an adult, after all, they know best, yet I left that day with a funny feeling in my chest. Something like drinking carbonated water for the first time. Everything I had once known was suddenly slightly questionable. I wish I knew how to pray to bring clarity to my crowded mind or whatever, but they don't pray in Hebrew in the movies. I thought I would do it wrong. The first time I heard a Jew joke, the laughter crushed my heart like flimsy notebook paper with both hands. This sixth grade boy had bright blue eyes, but when he looked at me and said, "What do Jews and pizza have in common? They both burn in ovens," his eyes were tinged slightly gray to me for months after. Pizza never quite tasted the same, and I wondered how anyone could think that was funny. When a girl asked me in front of the entire class, "Why are you alive? I thought all you Jews died," it was the first time I truly questioned the existence of God. A God that let an 11-year-old who couldn't stand up for herself hear why she should stop living. I wasn't equipped to handle that. I'm still not. Nobody is. The first time someone dropped a penny in front of me and called me a Jew when I picked it up was the last. I don't pick up coins anymore. The first time I saw the police patrolling our synagogue on Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, I asked my mother why. She said it was to protect us. Because safety is important, because something bad might happen, because some people don't like us, because we're different, because I don't know why. She said it was because this was a special day for us. Special meaning good timing, the kind of word that only exists in a certain kind of thesaurus I hope you never have to see. The first time someone told me that I looked Jewish, I analyzed the curve of my rounded nose and unruly brown hair like a calculus equation without an obvious solution. I was offended, yet ashamed, but mostly confused. Playing into this stereotype is supposed to be a bad thing. It's the reason I'm not supposed to use multiple coupons to save money or become a lawyer when I grow up. But people like coupons and legal help, and a nose is just a nose until there's a yarmulke above it, and then we have a problem. The first time someone asked me if I spoke Jewish, I said no. The 19th time someone asked me if I spoke Jewish, I asked them if they spoke Christian, and watched their confusion. The fact is, the question of language for me is not A or B, but C, all of the above. And also D, none of the above. Or maybe it's more I, as in I wish it wasn't this complicated. I learned the Hebrew alphabet when I was in third grade. 22 letters, 19 vowels, drawn in thick blocks of ink per character. The best ones were the ones that spelled my name. To this day, the syllables are half foreign and half familiar on my tongue when I sound them out with childlike precision. Words I should know, but don't. My brain can't comprehend the Hebrew text of my ancestors, the American Sign Language my mother interprets, or my grandmother's sarcastic Yiddish. I am that stereotypical English speaker I never wanted to be. My life is a test I am unable to pass. A is for American, well, kind of. B is for bilingual, which I will never be. And C is for can't we all just decide all of the above or none. I was never good at languages. The first time I realized that privilege exists not just for the people in the mansion on the hill, but within every race, gender, sexuality, and social class, I stared in the eye of the elephant in the room and faced my shame. To my black friends, my Muslim friends, and my Hispanic friends, I am sorry you cannot remove the physicalities that mark you as a minority. I have white skin and have pretended to be Christian to fit in. This is a privilege you do not have. And for this, I am both guilty and lucky. I am two sides of a coin. My skin marks me as a majority within this country. My lack of melanin oozes with thousands of years of unquestioned illogical superiority. Yet if you remove my exterior, underneath reveals the opposite, a minority making up less than 0.2% of the world's population. I am two sides of a coin, but heads or tails isn't enough to define me. I am the rough, textured edge of a quarter. I am somewhere in the middle. The first time I saw that Jewish cemeteries across the nation were being desecrated, I thought about the rocks. You see, if you visit a Jewish cemetery, you won't see flowers piled high on top of gravestones. Instead, you'll see stones. Pebbles and rocks, misshapen and smooth, ordinary yet perfect. The idea is that flowers are beautiful, but they eventually die. Stones represent the long-lasting nature of a memory, the enduring presence of a legacy that will not perish after 2 to 3 weeks without water and limited sunlight. So when vandals invaded these cemeteries, hammers and hatred in hand, they probably didn't notice the stones. And when they ran, leaving behind crumbled granite and the will of a people whose odds are always stacked against them, I bet they stepped on a few stones. And those stones did not have petals that were wilted and lifeless, stems disintegrating instantly under the foot of someone who desperately wanted to trample history into the dirt. No, those stones fought back, and we have always been a people of stones. The first time I truly knew who I was has not happened yet. I am not the swastika spray-painted on my friend's garage, bomb threats against my synagogue, or ugly extremism polluting the nightly news. I am not my nose, the butt of a joke, or a resource for the Holocaust paper you're writing. I am not a Jesus killer, Christmas hater, or greedy cheapskate. But I am other things. I am my great-grandmother's menorah, the ch sound you can't pronounce, and the falafel I eat alongside of people with every background. I am 7 years of summer camp, my grandmother's Jewish guilt, and birthday text messages in beautiful broken English from my Israeli friends. I am Gimilul Chasadim, acts of loving kindness, and my Hebrew name, Leah Miriam. I am hope and love and tolerance. I am never again, and we will stand with you. I am a stone, the stubborn heart of a second-grade girl who stood up against the prejudice of an ignorant adult, history flashing in her eyes, the chutzpah of her grandmother binded onto her poems. I am a stone whose density weighs down the opposition, open to interpretation, yet concentrated with a stagnant morality that adversity just doesn't understand. I am a stone with a quiet persistence that does not crumple in the dirt, but rises to meet every challenge. Always learning, always teaching, always more to do. Your flowers, they're beautiful. But stones, well, they don't give up so easily. And neither do we.